Hey everybody, welcome to On the Go in Vegas, and we
are the Vegas guys.
So I'm sitting here again with my brother from another mother, Tom Stephanos.
Yeah.
And you did it again, Tom.
Yeah.
You wrote another novel. And this one's called The Researcher, The Day of Retribution.
Oh.
So, how many does this make?
It makes four of them. This is the fourth novel.
Awesome.
It's converted from a movie screenplay. Yeah, this is a really intense novel. It's really deep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I read it.
What'd you think?
What I think, it had me on the edge of my seat. It was really, it really gets you thinking. You know what I mean? Whether there's a cure for cancer or not.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly how I wrote this movie, and I converted it to a screenplay. Originally, I wrote it as a screenplay, and I converted it to a novel because everybody in the back of their mind, they always think, is there really a cure for cancer? So I'm not trying to prove anything. It just makes for a great conspiracy novel.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I also did a little bit of research myself.
Yeah, what'd you find out?
Okay, and from the top pharmaceutical companies' revenues generated from sales, from cancer sales of drugs, chemotherapy drugs, and so forth.
Yeah.
Have increased by 70% over the past 10 years. They went from $55.8 billion to $95.1 billion. Now, that's a heck of a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And so that's my whole point. Do they want to give up billions of dollars of profit just to say, hey, we found a cure, we're the good guys now? And that's why I wrote this.
I would think so, Muhammad. I would think so, because you know what? Bottom line, it's all about the money.
It is about the money.
Money.
Yep, exactly.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
Yeah. So Eric is a cancer researcher. Him and his team come up with a cure for AML. It's a form of leukemia. And they call us Marcus up, and it's Marcus is a CEO, and he said, "I've got really good news for you." So they meet with Marcus, the CEO, and Marcus says, "I'm really glad you got good news for me because after I meet you guys, I'm going to a shareholders meeting, and they're after me all the time to raise the profits. So what's your good news?" And he says, "We found a cure for AML." And
now, for those who don't know, AML is a form of
leukemia. Yeah. Right. And he says, "This is really bad news for our company because 75% of our profit comes from cancer therapy drugs like chemo and all that." And he says, "Just give us 48 hours to tell our shareholders the bad news, and then we'll tell the world." So he lies to them, and after that, during the 48 hours, they kill two of the researchers, and they try to squash the cure. But what they don't know is Eric, both his parents died from that form of leukemia, so he was so distraught as a child, the people that raised him, they put him in martial arts. And when he graduated college, he got recruited by the CIA and he became an assassin. So he's like this bad character. And what happens is when they try to kill him, he becomes this company's worst nightmare. Now he's got to reveal the corruption of the pharmaceutical companies, reveal the cure of the world, and revenge the death of his colleagues. That's why it's called the Day of Retribution. The Researcher, the Day of Retribution. Right. It's a really intense. Gosh, it's intense.
It did for me.
And like I said, in back of people's minds, they always think, "Is there really a cure for cancer?" But like I said, I'm not trying to prove anything. It makes for a good movie. or in a good novel. And so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is in the back of people's minds, and once you read this book, you'll think about it a little bit more. And so Tom, how do our viewers, how do they get the book? How do they order the book?
They go to Amazon.com, and it's The Researcher by Tom Stephanos. That's TOMSTEPHANOS. That's The Researcher by Tom Stephanos.
The Day of Retribution.
Yeah, Day of Retribution. That's the subtitle is it's The Researcher. The Day of Retribution is the subtitle, and it's if you want a great read, and you want
I'll vouch to that. It's definitely a good read.
Yeah, and it makes you really think.
Yeah,
about
it sure does.
Yeah,
it sure does. So, thanks, Tom. We really appreciate it, and your Bahama.
Oh.
Thank you, Bahama.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for doing the interview. I appreciate that.
Hey, absolutely. It's my pleasure, and we're the Vegas guys, so it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, and don't forget to order your book, The Researcher, The Day of Retribution by Tom Stephanos.
And Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. There you go.
Yeah.
Order yours today.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Okay.
Love you, brother.
Love you too.